Ask Him to speak to your spirit and to make it very, very clear to you what it is you need to do or where it is you need to go. Because I just get so many different things from different people. Somebody heading to Florida, and people in Florida long been telling them to get out of Florida. Because a lot of destruction's coming and disasters, and we don't have time dates, folks. I don't have years. I don't have time dates. The closest I could do to that is look in the Bible codes at things. And there's always different time dates, even for the Bible codes. 2009 just looks like America's hell on ice. Hell on hot coals. A lot of destruction here in 2009 if the Bible codes uphold those dates, those times. Because just because an event is listed doesn't mean there's not numerous times mentioned for that event. Or if you even look at, because if you're looking at 2003, 2004, America should have been in martial law. And of course those events have been delayed. And so things are often accelerated, they're often delayed, and so it's not an accurate timetable. I think the whole thing for the codes for people to see, the whole message was that that what the Lord says is true, that He does know the end from the beginning, because you can find all of these things in His Word encoded. But there's always 3 or 4 different paths. And the Lord says our free will always comes into play. And that's why there's always 3 or 4 different paths that can be taken at one time. And if you go down one path, A is going to happen. If you go down another, B is going to happen. Everything we do brings about a result. And so based on man's free will and the paths we choose, then you can find more specifics in the codes on future events. And so unless you know exactly which route we're going, then you could probably find something that's going to happen along that path, something as a result of going down that path. You know, I do see a lot of martial laws and stuff like that, and something the Lord just pulls me away from that, and He'll show me the water destructions that are coming to the country. And so I don't know if He's just going to totally mess up their plans by bringing in these disasters, with the earth being tossed around like a drunkard, tossing to and fro, and that would definitely have to change their plans. You know, when Satan sets foot on this earth, nothing he has been planning for the last 2,000 years is going to be exactly the way he thought it would be. He's going to have a rough time of it because the Lord's got trumpet judgments, He's got bowl judgments, He's got the 7 thunder judgments that aren't even listed. It's one judgment after the next, and these are not light judgments. These are huge. And by the time He's done with this earth, there's only going to be a few men left. A few people left. I think 1/3 is left. I mean, maybe 2 billion people or 1 billion people left on earth when the Lord returns. And the rest have been killed off from all the destructions that are coming within a very short time. So we're looking at massive, massive destructions coming. More than wars can take out. Only, plagues and famine and just huge weather disasters where millions are disappeared in an instant, taken in an instant. And so those are the kinds of things that are going to overcome the world when Satan is here. God's destruction and His wrath on earth is going to be like something we've never seen before, and the earth itself is just going to be a total waste, laid to waste, deserted, destruction. And so I just wanted to bring that up. I don't know why. Like I've just always said, what He shows me, I'll tell His people, and that's what I do. I don't know how it plays with the timelines that we're looking at now with, the coming economic crash, the coming possible elections in 2008. And I've already said, don't waste your time sitting around thinking there's a good candidate out there that's going to pull America out of a brink of hell, a basket of hell it's falling into, because it isn't. They're all together. They're all together in the same agenda. They all serve the same boss. They might work different agendas, but they all serve the same boss. America isn't going anywhere but under the oceans. And so you need to be preparing for that. What I thought I'd mention a little bit is some of the terms I've seen over the years in the Bible codes relating to the vein of sin and the Antichrist. And something you'll never see, I don't think I've heard anybody catch on to it on the internet, and I've been dealing with this for the last 4 or 5 years in the Bible codes, is the fact that when you see the name Jesus, he's not talking about Yahushua, the Son of God. He's talking about Sananda, Satan. And I haven't seen anybody else pick that up. Because learning how to read the codes is a lot harder than just finding terms in the codes. You have to know how to read and analyze them and know who they're talking about, because the Antichrist and the false prophet are coming as God and the Son of God and Jesus. And so you have, in the Bible codes, you're looking at a certain time in the future. Who's on earth at that time? Satan. Well, Satan's Jesus. People aren't picking up the differences, how it all just switches. Anyway, over the years, what I did was I started writing down terms in relation to the coming Antichrist that I was finding in the codes. Attractive, amphibious, amphibian, lecturer, and I'm sure everybody will be thrilled by that, to have some long-winded bag always talking and never shutting up. It definitely has to be a politician of some kind. He's a lecturer. He's an arguer. He'll argue with you. He's a mocker. He's boastful, prideful. The terms Aramean and Arab come up. He's a savage. He's a rapist. He's a homosexual. He's an author. He has authority. He's authorized to be doing what he's doing by the Most High himself. Anger, temper, and hateful come up. Murderer, cruel, hostile, healer, magician, adulterer, chief potentate king, intelligent, deceitful, fraud, alchemy, alchemist, and scientist. The amphibious beast, the Bible codes describe several beasts in the last days. And every time I see the terms Lord, Adonai, Jehovah, or God in the codes, it's not referring to the Most High God, but the beast himself who's coming acting like he's God. The main character is describing the biggest beast to come. Isn't a human beast, it's the one that's described as attractive in Arabic. An Arab beast is also an amphibian. For those who need more straightforward speech, he's a beast from the sea, and that's why you get the term amphibian, just as the Bible itself describes the first beast that rises out of the sea. In symbolism, the term sea can mean nations, or rather the masses of the people. When describing the first beast of Revelation 13, I find it to be both literal and symbolic. He has great authority and power. The Protestant churches, and I'm reading this off an article I wrote on the Bible codes and what I found in regards to the Antichrist. The Protestant churches and their self-proclaimed Bible prophecy gurus, for the most part, have been pushing the European Union as the power base of this first beast. The Bible code says different. This first beast will consolidate an alliance of Arab nations. The countries of Ethiopia and Libya will be either taken over by this beast, or he will rise out of those nations with those two as his power base. There are Arab provinces within Russia as well. Watch Ethiopia and Libya, perhaps even Liechtenstein. Whoever becomes their leader, either literally or they're aligned with, is the beast I'm speaking of the first beast of Revelation 13. The Aryan nations will align with him one way or another. He's a savage beast and a murderer, but the Arabs will welcome him as a Messiah. This beast is Hillel himself. In fact, it's Hillel Satan who gives this beast his power. He will rule for 42 months, and he will make war against the saints of the Most High God. The United Nations will give him power over all the nations. In other words, this Arab beast will be a worldwide dictator. Islam will take over the world through this man. And I've been warning about this guy for years in the name of Maitreya. The New Agers think he's an ascended master. The Iranians are welcoming him as the coming Mahdi, the last Messiah.